Taking inventory, talking to Tiger fans. The winter meetings are underway. You're seeing headlines. You're seeing quotes. I have a blurb from Scott Harris. I'm going to read some of it because we're only on until 10. He was asked about adding external pieces, and he said the answer is yes. Can we find those opportunities? I'm not sure. When I look at our team, we have a young, deep collection of position players that are in slightly different stages of their careers. And he cites one group with Torque, Green, and Carpenter, who took a big step. Then he mentions Parker Meadows, Dylan Dingler, Colt Keith, Wenzel Perez, another group coming behind. And then he says the majority of our growth as an offense is going to come from within. That first group getting better, the second group getting into that next wave. And then he highlights the young players who will make a leap to the big leagues. We're going to try to find our way to improve our offense without blocking those guys because they're too important to our present and future. Matt Vierling gets a shout out in all of this. It reads of small market baseball. Mm-hmm. It reads of, hey, we're not going to make serious additions. You couple it with the headline that they're lukewarm on Bregman. No reported interest in Bo Bichette. And sure, this could all be a smokescreen, but at some point, this is who Scott Harris is, and this is the way the Tigers operate their team, like a small market organization.
It's all going to be Moneyball.
I mean, how else am I to interpret this?
Well, until they do something, and I know they were close last year, but they didn't get it done.
And do they feel like, boy, we were so close, we're going to be aggressive in pursuit? To this point, no.
No, I'm talking about close to signing Bregman.
That's what I'm saying, and they were close. Did that fuel them to thinking we're going to pick right back up where things left off and we're going to put a big offer on the table? We're going to get this thing done before the holiday? No? No? Okay, then.
How will you feel if they just did a one-year big deal to a guy like Suarez? Don't trade.
Better than nothing, but I mean,
does it have to be because I don't have a problem if it's not a long-term commitment. Do I want a long-term? Yes, I do. I want what you guys want. I am saying that I can see the reasoning behind going to a shorter term guy.
Because you have young players coming and because there's a lockout coming. Yeah, I understand the argument for a short term deal, but at some point that's all this organization does is Band-Aids.
The one thing he will not bend on. He won't. They're protecting 2027. It's always been the plan.
I just want to highlight something real quick.
But there might not be baseball in 27.
Right. McGonigal looks to be the real deal in terms of prospects and their type of player. Bat to ball skills, plate discipline, contact hitter, all that stuff. And he may turn into be a superstar. Or even like a Jacob Wilson who was an instant impact guy for the A's. There is a danger, though, in the overall philosophy of not blocking guys. Because do you remember the last player this was discussed about? It was third base. This is 2 years ago.
Oh, Jace Young?
Jace Young.
Yeah.
Can't block Jace Young. And I'm not trying to pile on Jace Young. He's just an example of prospects don't always pan out. And oftentimes don't pan out. So if the organizational philosophy is we're going to pull the slot machine and hope to get sevens across the board, we're going to be pulling that slot machine for years.
Yeah.
Let's get to the people. Adam in Gibraltar, you're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, this whole Tarik Skubal thing, I mean, either trade him, man, or you just go and you say you're not trading because this lockout is probably more than likely going to happen. So, I mean, this whole next year is probably going to have Skubal on our team, I feel like. But I feel like the team that they could potentially trade, like have a trade suitor with, is probably the Dodgers. But my only thing is, if you're trading Skubal, I mean, you're going to have to get value out of him. And I am not listening to any team if you aren't giving me 2 ready now players and at least 2 top 8 prospects. I am hanging up the phone and saying you're crazy. So, I mean, is it crazy to ask if you're trading him to the Dodgers? I mean, that's probably the only team that can actually probably sign him.
Or the Mets.
I'm asking for like Glasnow and a right-handed hitter back in that deal and some of their prospects. I mean, in return, they're getting Skubal back. But this whole Scott Harris thing and keeping this small market with offense, I mean, you saw your team bottom 3 in strikeouts all year last year. And
better get that.
yeah. And then, I mean, I'm going to make this quick. I mean, adding contact and someone that can drive and runs is going to be in their off season. That's it.
Well, it should be. I'm not so sure at this point. Glad to see him deviate, but it's not who they've been. Let's get to Bob. You're next up.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
You guys keep talking about Scott Harris doesn't want to do this. Scott Harris doesn't want to do that. Scott Harris just wants to run it like a small market team. It isn't. It's not Scott Harris. It's Ilitch. Because I'm sure if Ilitch said, "Hey, you have an unlimited checkbook. Just go out and sign Bregman. Go out and sign all these guys."
Right.
He would do it. You really should be talking about Ilitch, not Scott Harris.
Well, Scott Harris has also told us that when they're ready to make their run, that the finances will be there.
He's stressed that when I took this job, I was told I'd have all the resources. I have to make a compelling pitch to ownership, and they'll greenlight it. He doesn't feel compelled to make the pitch to get these guys, not at the price that it takes, and not at the risk of blocking players, as ludicrous as that sounds. Dawson, last word. You're on 97.1.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you having me on. I love the show.
Thanks.
But I'm really starting to get sick of this whole Scott Harris neglectful as far as, we don't want to block the young guys in Detroit. And if you have the best pitcher on the planet, you have to make a run with him if this is the last year that you're going to have him, because we know he's not going to be brought back. And I love, McGonigal and Clark and all the projection of these guys that we have in the system. But, hey, let's ask the Yankees how that worked out with Volpe and Dominguez. Wait, it hasn't worked out. And my fear is that, God forbid, what if McGonigal and Clark come up and these guys and they have, the year one struggle and they can't immediately make the impact like Jacob Wilson or a junior Caminero. So it's like, Scott Harris, what's your plan if those guys come up and struggle? And is it going to be, we're going to just
we'll get them in 27
until the end of time?
We'll get them in 27 or we'll get them in 28 or we'll get them in 29. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of seizing the day.
Right, and it's like, I'm sorry, but nobody in Detroit wants to watch Colt Keith, Parker Meadows, and guys like this get meaningful at-bats next year to open the season. Like, that's not what we want to see, and you're not going to compete with that. And we saw how it worked towards the end of this season. The team...
Well, back-to-back postseasons.
They were plummeting.
Yeah, back-to-back postseasons. Game 4 and Game 5 in 24, they were 2 of 23 runners in scoring position. It was painful at the end of the 24 season, and then, of course, everybody stayed up for 15 innings watching them swing and miss and whiff and strike out in Game 5 this year in the exact same spot. They lose in the same spot back-to-back years. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway from the president of baseball ops is, no, we're really deep and really good. We're simply too good to make sizable additions.
It's frustrating.
Don't tell me it's raining. I know what's going on.